14 matches. Why? Just why? I'm Joe Retton with my review of AEW Dark. Just cut it in half. 7 on Tuesdays and 7 on Fridays. Just treat it like a pay-per-view weekend. That way you get more traffic on your YouTube channel and you don't exhaust the goddamn audience. It's too much of a good thing. And only a handful of these matches really should have been on there, and a couple of them were way too long. So, this is going to be kind of a lightning round edition of a review. Excalibur and Taz on commentary. We have Evil Uno versus The Blade versus Frankie Kazarian versus Jungle Boy. And it was mostly tag team competitors in a single four-way. And honestly, this wasn't bad, but it was also a match that was just kind of there. Now, the action was fine. I don't know why this wasn't the main event, to be honest. This should have been, especially with what they did at the end. Jungle Boy's going to be a star. There were some dives, cool cutter by Kazarian. Everybody get in here. And then everybody down because they hit some moves. And then a jackknife pin by Jungle Boy pins Evil Uno. So there you go. And then the Dark Order runs out. The Midget runs out. Marco Stunt. And we get a big pull apart thing. And everybody's battling. Everybody's beating each other up. That should have been the main event. I don't like the Dark Order, but that seems like something you would close the show with. I don't fucking get it. So we then have the Lucha Bros getting a lot of goddamn pyro. I like the Lucha Bros, but they don't need to do pyro on Dark. Just save it for Dynamite, save it for the pay-per-views. Seriously. This is basically your goddamn B show. You don't need pyro. They took on Lee Johnson and Cesar Bononi. Boy, Cesar is impressive. Actually did a couple of decent power maneuvers, and Lee actually has some good agility as well. Spike package pile driver, 1, 2, 3. Lucha Bros win. See what I meant by these matches not mean anything? Peter Avalon versus Brandon Cutler. Leva Bates is torn. Who the fuck does she cheer for? And remember how their last match ended up in a double countout? This one ends in a double disqualification when Peter gets hit with a book while he hits Cutler with that, D&D dice. Good job. This is a feud I don't fucking care about. These talents aren't bad. I just don't fucking care one bit. Just good God, they're trying to make me care and it's not working. Matt Sidel versus Sonny Kiss with Joey Janela. Finally, something decent. Sonny Kiss has some good ability. Probably just a mid-card act, honestly, but he has some good ability and agility. Matt Sidel is also very good. And with some flippy shit, he wins with a clutch variation and gets the win there. That was a good way to do it. And this wasn't a bad match. This could have at least been on Dynamite, but you know what? It's nice to have a somewhat competitive match that was also short. So, Aaron Solo, Angel Fashion, and Badu versus Dark Orders 4, 5, and 10. Great, more Dark Order. I wonder what I didn't care about. I didn't care about this match at all. Badu has a good look. Dark Order wins with some triple team maneuver. It's not that the Dark Order are bad athletes. Quite the opposite. I just don't like the gimmick, and I wasn't given a reason to care about this match. Brandy joins commentary, so I instantly cared less about this, even though it was Elena Black, who I just saw on the Shimmer 118 episode Shimmer at the Collective, and she has a good look and I think can be a very bright star in the future versus Red Velvet. Brandy compared Little Bran, her action figure, I'm dumber for having said that, versus, comparing her to Red Velvet. Brandy, you're comparing an inanimate object, and actually Brandy is the inanimate object, with Red Velvet. That's kind of wrong. Like, seriously, Red Velvet actually has personality. Brandy sure as fuck doesn't. It was good to see the women in action. I mean, it's going to take some seasoning with both of these women, but they aren't bad. They have some good ability. Red Velvet has some good agility. Elena Black has a good look, and I think has a bright future. Brandy just kept talking and just deserts a pump kick, 1, 2, 3. And Red Velvet getting the victory because she is aligned with Brandy. Cool, great, whatever. So, we get Fuego Del Sol versus Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks wins with the Rochambeau. That's it, really, right there. That's pretty much it. And then we get Alex Marvez looking so goddamn scared, deer in the headlights interviewing him. Marvez in a match, imagine that. Interviewing Scorpio Sky and Christopher Daniels. Sean Spears interrupts. And then Daniels calls Tully, the damsel in distress, which was kind of funny. He says, hey Daniels, how about you and Spears in a match next week? Okay, cool, whatever. We then get the Gun Club versus Ryzen and Max Stardom. It wasn't bad. That hip toss, neck breaker gets victory. Austin Gunn getting the pin. Ryzen isn't that bad. Max Stardom, I'm not really sure how to take him, but maybe he'll impress me with more matches as, if he gets booked. Now, Nick, Camarodo, I believe is how it was said, versus Darby Allin. Nick has a pretty good look. Powerful, big poofy hair, pretty solid physique. And he tossed around Darby a bit. Darby kept going after the arm, and then eventually hit the coffin drop, 1, 2, 3. Ricky Starks had joined commentary by this point, and then was attacked by Darby afterwards. Now, Nick, actually, I would like to see him brought back. I think he can be a benefit to at least AEW Dark and maybe signed down the road. But Darby, I love Ricky, and I like seeing that this feud's continuing, though I think it's going to have to go to a cage match or something, because I'm not sure where else you go with it. So, Kylan King with a good promo. I think Kylan King's a big star and should be signed. We then get Griff Garrison versus Colt Boom Boom Cabana with Evil Uno. Why more Dark Order? And Colt wins with the Billy Goat's Curse. Griff Garrison isn't bad and I think should be signed as well. Him and Brian Pillman Jr. are a pretty good team. Now the Rose versus Kylan King. Well, Kylan really had a good showing as far as, trying to take down Nyla and hitting some good strikes and everything. But she fell at the Beast Bomb pretty goddamn quickly. I want to see Kylan King signed by AEW though. I think she's got a great look. She's got some good personality, got some really good promos, and can be a big benefit to the women's division. And by God, after signing Ivelisse, and I'll rant more about that on Dynamite, God fucking damn it, Ivelisse should not be signed because she's a piece of shit. And Vicky then says Shida must face Nyla or else. Nyla ain't gonna step in the goddamn ring. So, Janela with Sonny Kiss versus D3. Why was D3 wearing a Roman helmet? Why was Janela allowed to have a competitive match with anybody? Janela looks like shit. He beats shit out of this guy and gets a victory. Janela's not any good. Sorry, he's not any good. We then get Elijah Dean versus Wardlow. Wardlow has a terrible theme. Dean got in a few shots, but got his ass kicked. And he did that like knockout knee Wardlow did off the ropes, and then Wardlow won via knockout. And then Eddie Kingston versus Baron Black. Baron Black got in some shots, spinning back fist, and then a choke and front choke. Eddie Kingston got the victory. That's your lot right there. 14 matches summed up in about 7 minutes. There you go. Dark needs to get better. They need to polish this up a bit. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm Charles Ritlin. I'll see you soon.